Thinking about the things that we did. You did something. Shit like this don't happen too often. It's the way you put it down. Although no one else around. Got me thinking a step on the outside. Cutting all ties with them other guys. Where you in my eyes. Loving me nice and slow. You made me wanna go. Caught her up through. Just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you let me with. You made me wanna go. Caught her up through. Just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you let me with. You made me wanna go. I can't find my niggas so young. I'ma see this pain on it. This ain't what I really used to.
Anything happens between us, be sure you 10 toes down before I pull out the car. The only thing that's coming beside me at the situation is you waiting and get some more. I told you I'ma take your place. I seen it in your face, and I knew that you would say it. So
Just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you let me with. You made me wanna go. Caught her up to just to put it down on you. You made me wanna replay all of the things that you let me with. I can't find my niggas so young. I'ma see me fighting on it. This ain't what I really used to.
I said 5 in the morning. I wake up to 5 for my yearnings. The fear in my mind is a warning. Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day. I tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. I tried to get by, but I'm burning. I'm behind, my mind it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. Right, yeah. I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. I need to free mind now. I really need mine now. Yeah. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way where you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot breathe. I need to find relief. But behind my mind, it runs. All these thoughts have troubled me. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. I really need my love. I need to free my mind. I really need time now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. I need to free my mind now. I really need time now. Oh, yeah. Just let me free, freer than the open mind, farther than the eyes can handle, freer than the ocean now. Yeah, yeah. So set me free. Now I need to find relief. Set me to the open sky. Now I need to free my mind. Yeah.
That's right.
Speeding up the heartbeat, banging in my chest. When you put it on me, you relieve my stress. You got me so high, taking deep, deep breaths. You get me so high, you get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high. You get me so high, you get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high. You get me so high, you get me so high. I know you ain't a drug, but you get me so high. You get me so high, you get me so high. You get me so high, you get me so high. You got me so turned up. You still gotta be so high. Weed always on my mind. Now he always on my mind. Don't you? Know you want some of this part. You ain't gotta say a word. Just walk that, let's get burned. It will roll up 100 fucking nuts. All up in my mouth. Now I'm all up in yo. This nigga got pounds of it. All up in his truck. Now we both look Asian. He waving and I'm drunk. I got dank shit in my cup. You know what I'ma do to you? I could give reviews to you. Blow, we X, and we sipping on that juicy juice. That's just what she choose to do. Chest. When you put it on me, you relieve my stress. You got me so high, taking deep, deep breaths. You get me so
between that bitch your skin. If I move too quick, that's true, I would think it's my reflection. Being cold, she isn't close enough. You could tell every time we touch, every time we up. Wish you could feel me, cute apartment. One bedroom, right where your heart is. Each space feels broken hearted. Cross the bed, feels way too far in. Wonder when they see just one, do they see us too? Ooh, I just wanna melt into you. I'm melting to you. Just wanna melt into you. Melting to you. Melting to Imagine you ready for love and taste up and down. Hoping your last secret spit it out your mouth and inhale, exhale, breathe in. With every breath I'm sinking in. No way to describe it. I'm a riot. I wake up and I'm somehow beside you. Instead of beside you, this shit is surprise you. You don't even notice. Don't need to remind you. Wish you could build me a cute apartment. One bedroom, right where your heart is. Each place feels broken hearted. Cross the bed feels way too far in. I wonder when they see just one, do they see us through? Where do you end? Where do I begin?
I can see your star shining down on me.
Happy Friday. Hey, y'all. Hey, Miss Margie. Hey, Miss Carla. Hey, Latoya. Hey, Miss B. Who else we got in the building? Let me see. Uh, we got Drake. Hey, Drake. I think if I go up. Thank you, Miss Margie, for becoming a member. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Also, thank you, Miss B. I think I saw Miss B on the list. Thank you, Miss B, for becoming a member. I do appreciate it. Hey, Miss Carla girl. Hey, Miss B. How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Hey, keep it cute. I hope everybody had a blessed, beautiful week, honey. I really, really do. How y'all doing? It's so good to see you, honey. It's so good to see y'all. So listen, we are back here on the Crime and Justice channel. As y'all can see, I finally launched the membership. Miss Margie, you said you didn't know. I think I launched it yesterday. I know I did a short, I did a post, but I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. My days are running together for this week, honey. They ran all together. I done so much. I done been so many places. I done so many things, honey. Oh, your girl. Okay. Um, yeah, but I think it was yesterday. But shout out to the ones that have joined the membership. I do appreciate it. Anybody else want to join? That link is pinned at the top. Thank you, Miss. Who that was, Miss Margie. I think it was Miss Margie. Thank you, Miss Margie, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's good to see y'all. I am so happy to be back. Even though I'm tired, I need to rest. It's a shame you got to come home to rest. It was Wednesday. Oh, okay, Wednesday be okay. Hey, Melissa. You just got your hair did. Go on, girl. We trying to get ready for the weekend. It's the weekend, baby. Shout out to you, girl. Listen, welcome, everybody. Look, we are back on this channel. As I stated before, I'm glad to be back, Miss Carla. Thank you. As I stated before I left, I made it up in my mind that I want to be, need to be, and will be more consistent on this channel. Being as though, it's been monetized forever, but I have the membership going now, and my thing was I was trying to decide which days that were gonna be my days. And I'm thinking Tuesdays and Thursdays now. If I feel the need, of course, we can always switch things up. If I feel the need to come on a Monday or Wednesday or a Friday, I'm back, Miss B. I am back, girl. I missed you too. Your wrenches. Oh yeah, that's. Let me wrench you back up. You remember I took all the wrenches on all the channels. You ain't been back since I started giving them back. So let me wrench you back up. Hold on. Hold on, yeah. All right, there we go, girl. So yeah, so I think I'm consider. You know what? I say Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? But I think it's probably gonna be more like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I know I said I was gonna have a decision made by the time I come back, but I probably need the weekend to think about it more. But I'm gonna just say this today. As of today, I feel like I want to do. Um, I want to do the Crime and Justice channel. It's either gonna be Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, or it's gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Monday, when I come back, if Monday is gonna be the day, I'll let y'all know. The reason why it's so hard for me to boil down the days on this channel is because I do this in the early AM hours, and I be having a lot going on in the AM hours. Um, my appointments and phone calls and all kind of stuff be going on in the morning time. So, but you know what? I'm gonna buckle it down. And I'm gonna say definitely Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That's what I'm gonna say. I'll give myself that. This channel will be consistent. We will be on this channel at least every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if I need to adjust it, I will. But for right now, that's what it's gonna be. So for those that enjoy this channel, just know that truth will be consistent on this channel. Every week I will be on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on the Crime and Justice channel. All right. And like I said, thank you again to the ones that support this channel. I really do appreciate it. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. So today we are jumping in on something, a story that I did not cover. I did not cover the Jarvis Butts, Jarvis Butts. I did not cover this story at all. I think I may have talked about it when it first happened, the Nazaria Harris case. I'm not for sure. I may have mentioned it. I don't know if I did actual live streams on it, but I know at some point in time for me, this case got to be a bit much. This was one of the cases that that I felt like, I did not want to really do content on, commentary on, or whatever. So I did not hop on that train. I did not. The reason why I am talking about it today is because, for one, somebody requested it. That I talk about what has happened. So we're gonna talk about it today, and to be honest, I'm really just bringing this today because somebody asked me to. Somebody that I really fuck with asked me to. We would just talk about the fact that she has an opinion, and I have an opinion too. Even though, like I said, I didn't cover this story, I did pay attention to some things that was going on while it was going on, but not a whole lot because I wasn't doing content on it, and it was real triggering. The story is real triggering. As a matter of fact, let me put this up before I start, and I'll be putting it up as I remember throughout the live. But the person that reached out to me about talking about this has an opinion about whether or not he may have unalived himself or not. And me knowing the situation of the case and things of that nature, I kind of agree that maybe it may be something, truth I follow our boy who reviewed this case. I got two of his videos, the ones he just recently did when it came out that this guy had allegedly committed suicide in the prison, in the jail or whatever. But yeah, the person I talked to about this, she says that she think maybe, just maybe, that this guy was unalived by someone else. Could be possible, possible, and it was made to look like a suicide. We don't know. Hey, Nicole. You're in the bushes. Thank you for being in the bushes. Thank you for supporting. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do is, y'all, like I say, I know a lot of y'all probably followed people that follow this story. I did not. So y'all probably can give me more. Y'all can probably tell me more in the chat about it as we listen to what we're going to listen to today. And I'll read your comments and things of that nature. We can talk about it. But to be honest, I know some things. I know less. I don't know a whole lot of the ins and outs of this case. I know the surface stuff that I've heard, but I chose not to actually do content on this story. You don't believe it either, Ms. B? Well, it's some people that think that it's something funny, but hey, Lord have mercy. But okay, so the first video we're gonna watch is Shanitra Speaks, and I'm gonna share her out. Y'all know my three faves right now as far as crime and justice is Shanitra Speaks, Carlos King, and The Family. Those are the three channels that I really look to listen to or watch when it comes to these cases that's out here today, because I just can't. Some people I just can't do. So this one is from Shanitra Speaks. I'm gonna share her channel, which I always do. I'm gonna share this video that we're about to listen to out on my community wall. I don't know anything about this, but I'm listening. Oh, you did, Miss Margie? Oh man, this was a big one, Miss Margie. We just didn't talk about it though. We didn't talk about it. She dropped this. Now the one we're about to react to from Shanitra was dropped 11 days ago, and the reason why I'm going back 11 days ago on her video is because this video highlights when he not allegedly, he did. Hey Natasha, good to see you, boo. Thank you. He pled guilty, and you're gonna hear the charges and everything in this video. He pled guilty and he was sentenced, right? I think he had been maybe sentenced 2 weeks when this happened, which I think he allegedly unalived himself on yesterday. It was either yesterday, the day before yesterday. Thank you, Miss B. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, and the reason why I'm going back 11 days is because this video highlights when he supposedly told what he did with Miss Nazaya's body, okay? And it's got some details in there that I wanted y'all to hear before we listen to our boy Carlos and when he talks about the alleged unaliving. So yeah, that's why I'm going back to her video from 11 days ago. He's sick and glad he's no longer on this side. Girl, listen. Ooh, my God, today. Hey, Queen. And so, yeah. So we're going to go back and we're going to listen to a video that Shanitra Speaks put out 11 days ago, right? Like I said, y'all give me all the input in the chat. Y'all talk about it, discuss it in the chat. I'll be reading the comments, probably asking y'all questions because y'all follow this, and I didn't. And then we're going to listen to 2 other videos, and then yeah. So let me pull it up. This is Shanitra Speaks, and I'm going to share her on my wall. Y'all go over there and check her out. Y'all love crime and justice. She's an excellent channel. I love watching her. Her videos are wonderful to me. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Let's see. And I know it was a whole lot with this case. It was family members and what's sad is about yeah. And that's this video from Shanitra, I think, shows where he's in court, and I think he said he told the court something about he threw it in the river or something, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna let y'all hear it for yourself. He got what God had for him, sicko. Yeah, he's sick. He's definitely a sicko, Miss B, and he's out of here. He's out of here. Whether he did it himself or somebody else did it, he's out of here. Okay. All right, so let's get into the video, y'all.
Nizaya, bring her ass home. She got up like any other grandparent would do, or any mother, or any father, any brother or sister.
These messages are seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away.
Background was sex offender involving a child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
If society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
Mr. Buck's state offense of homicide, murder, and second degree of Nizaya Harris, 40% consistent.
It has been more than 2 years since 13-year-old Nizaya Harris vanished from Detroit, Michigan on January the 9th, 2024. About a year after she vanished during a preliminary hearing in January of 2025, the judge stated that the evidence in the case indicated Nizaya Harris was pregnant at the time she disappeared. Now, in 2026, Nizaya would be turning 16 years old this year. She should have been looking forward to the milestones that come with growing up, things like graduating high school, going to prom, and building a future for her and her child, as well as doing TikTok, something that they said she loved doing.
My man fine as hell.
Does he look better next to me? Of course, but
Let me wrap my weave up. I'm the Cheselina, feeling like gasolina. Watch your man. You should watch your mouth.
But Neziah would never get the chance to experience those milestones or give birth to the child she was expecting. As prosecutors would later reveal, the man who would ultimately plead guilty to Neziah Harris's murder was someone her family once described as an uncle. In 2012, that man, Jarvis Butts, was released from prison after serving nearly 8 years, and he was required to register as an offender.
Mr. Butts has a criminal history dating back to 1997. He spent time in Michigan Department of Corrections previously for a criminal sexual conduct conviction. Following a plea he entered in 2005. Noteworthy that he paroled sometime in 2012 and almost immediately returned to his criminal behaviors on his parole.
Now, Jarvis Butts would eventually meet Neziah's maternal aunt, Shannon Harris. Shannon said that Jarvis was honest about his past and being on the registry, and that he gave her the choice to pursue a relationship with him. But that choice would eventually prove to be a deadly one for her niece. By 2022, Jarvis Butts was openly communicating with Neziah.
Can you talk about the time frame when you mentioned grooming? Are you able to elaborate at all over how long of a period of time he may have quote unquote groomed or knew her?
All I can and will say at this point that it started in 2022.
CPS records would later outline that Neziah and her cousin, who is the daughter of Jarvis and Shannon and one of Jarvis' victims, had complained about Jarvis to Shannon, but Shannon did nothing. By January the 9th, 2024, Neziah was 13 years old, Jarvis Butts was 41, and prosecutors say Jarvis could not face the consequences of his actions or the possibility that Neziah would give birth to his child. So they say he set a deadly plan in motion.
So girl's remains have never been found?
No.
Is there a thought?
Her body has never been found.
Any thought of where she been?
Well, if we knew that, we would certainly have a case that we weren't trying. We were trying without body.
Before Neziah Harris vanished, Jarvis had started searching online for information that investigators believe points to a possible motive in this case. Court testimony also revealed that some of those searches included antifreeze. And because Jarvis worked at an auto shop, many people have questioned if that search may have been connected to Neziah suddenly complaining of stomach pain that same day that she vanished. However, investigators have never publicly confirmed exactly what caused her to become ill. At the same time, Jarvis Butts was supposed to be turning himself in to authorities on an unrelated gun charge. According to court testimony, he was scheduled to report to jail on January the 9th, 2024, the very same day that Neziah Harris would disappear. Prosecutors say that timing was no coincidence. The day Jarvis was supposed to turn himself in is the same day that Neziah Harris vanished, and it's also the same day that she went to school like any other day, but while she was there, it was reported that she started complaining that her stomach hurt. According to testimony presented in court, Neziah became ill while at school and even fell out at one point. She did request to get help. However, no one ever got her medical help that day. After school, camera footage captured Neziah getting on the bus. That would have been one of the last confirmed sightings of Neziah Harris before she vanished. Many people have questioned if the outcome might have been different if she had received help when she first started complaining about the stomach pain and fell out at school. Was something already wrong? Was she trying to tell someone what was happening to her? Those questions still linger in this case, and for more than 2 years, one question remained: where was Neziah Harris? That answer would eventually come after 43-year-old Jarvis Romaine Butts entered a guilty plea to second-degree murder. Now, although this has been a high-profile case that has gained national attention over the last 2 years, the public may never know exactly what happened to Neziah Harris. In a press release issued on March 12, 2026, titled "Jarvis Butts is Sentenced in Homicide of Neziah Harris," the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office stated the following in part: "One of the most important aspects of the plea agreement was giving Neziah's family closure. The disclosure of the location of her body was crucial. As a condition of his plea to the second-degree murder case, Jarvis Butts was required to give a truthful statement regarding the body of Neziah Harris. We are satisfied with the statement that he has given," said Prosecutor Kim Worthy. However, despite that statement, whatever Jarvis Butts told prosecutor has not publicly been disclosed. So while the family may have some answers, the public may never know exactly what happened to Neziah Harris. Now, what we do know is that they tracked Jarvis Butts' location to the Rogue River. And we also know that earlier statements by the news outlet state that a source told the news outlet that Jarvis Butts had allegedly confessed that that was the location of where he unfortunately dumped Naziah Harris' body. Although the news outlet came out with an article and stated this has not publicly been confirmed by the prosecutor's office.
Right around here, ma'am. Good. So you can have a seat or you can stand, however you are most comfortable. Just state and spell your name first, please.
Okay. My name is Tijuana Butts. First name Tijuana. Last name Butts.
Do you have a prepared statement?
I do not, sir.
That's fine. Okay. Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
I don't have a prepared statement because I had no plans to come here today. I've been battling with myself on what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. I'm here today for Naziah and for my nieces and the other victims that my brother has harmed. Got up this morning with every intention on going to work because for the last 2 years, I have to go back to that day that I saw a little girl that I did not know and I had never seen. And I wish that there was a sign that she was okay. And I believe that she was someone else's niece. And I had no reason not to believe what my brother said to me. That day will forever haunt me because I go back to like, why was I there? Why didn't I know? Why was there no sign? However, I'm a firm believer in God, and I do believe that sometimes we are put in places that we don't want to be in, even if we don't know why. And I feel like I was put there that day to be a voice for Naziah and for every other child that my brother has harmed. I believe that Naziah's story brought a lot of the other victims out to the forefront. And sitting in the courtroom today, there are many Naziahs and many other victims that are unfortunately being harmed right now at this moment. And people are turning a blind eye to it. People are not paying attention. We need to do better with our families as a community and protecting our children from monsters, from the very people who are supposed to love them and protect them. I don't know why my brother has turned into the person that is in this courtroom today. This is not who I remember as a child. I remember the little boy that used to follow me everywhere, that always wanted to protect me, even though I'm older than him. My brother knows that I've been a victim of assault. My brother knows that I've been at a very young age. And he knows the pain it caused. I can't understand why he would have caused that to an innocent child. Not just Naziah, but to his own children that have his face. I hope that every victim and my nieces and nephews can heal from the things that my brother has done. For the last 2 years, I've been drugged on social media. My family has been put all over a lot of platforms, including my children, my grandchildren. People are posting places, the place that I work, and I work with children. I work with children because I had a hard time growing up. We did not have everything growing up, but we did have a grandmother that loved us and cared for us. And I don't know if something happened to my brother when he was young. However, that is no excuse for what he has done. We could have gotten help. We could have said something to someone. Being a victim myself only made me want to protect kids and not harm them in any kind of way. I'm hoping that he has a heart somewhere deep in there to tell where Naziah's body is, because she was innocent. My brother stole so many children's innocence. And he's way more than old enough to know that. I hope that he can remember how we were raised. I hope that he can remember that he was loved. I hope that he gives the people that love her, closure in bringing her body so she can be laid to rest, because she deserves that. She's an innocent child. Her soul should not be roaming the earth. If for no one else, for her. If for no one else, his children. And this is a hard thing to do.
Miss B, this is the sister. This is his sister speaking. I don't know if you think that this is the auntie of Naziah who was with Jarvis. No, this is his sister speaking, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all know better than me, but this is his sister speaking.
Because this is my brother. And I'm not going to stand here and say that I don't love him, because I do. And I always will, and I want him to know that. And I hope that if he loves me, that he will do what's right. I watched him sit behind a mask. I watched him.
Oh, okay, Miss B. Okay.
You made your bed, you got to lay in it. Stand in it. Do what you have to do. You did what you did knowing. What you've done has just struck me. I had to go back to work. The day after I testified, 2 days after I testified. And the only thing I could think of was the children that I interact with every day that I love and will protect as my own. How are they going to see me? Because of him. Fortunately enough for me, I have a good support system. And the children I work with know who I am. The staff that I work with know who I am. And the people that I come encounter with every day know who I am. So there's nothing that anyone can say on social media to change it. Once again, brother, look up at me. I want you to know I do love you. And that will never change. But you have to do what's right. You have to do what's right. I can't turn off my feelings. I hate who he's become. I hate what he's done. You have to do what's right. So,
Thank you.
But one of the most impactful statements came from Jarvis Butt's own daughter, who was also Naziah's cousin. Naziah and Jarvis Butt's daughters were not just friends, they were first cousins. Their mothers are sisters, and the two girls appeared to grow up very close to one another. They were often together, posting TikTok videos and spending time with each other. Jarvis Butts even told investigators during the interrogation that the two girls would come down to the shop together. According to him, as they got older, they would sometimes request money for things like their hair and their nails. And from his perspective, if they wanted money, they had to come down to the shop and earn it. If you haven't checked out that interrogation video, I will link it in the description so that you can hear it. But during the preliminary hearing, the judge said something else that raised serious concerns. The judge pointed out that multiple grown men were.
Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all want me to play that interrogation video. Hey, baby Candy. Good to see you. Y'all let me know down in the chat if y'all want me. Not today. It won't be today. I can do a part 2. Because being as though I didn't cover this case, we could talk about some of the things that has gone on now. But y'all let me know if y'all want me. When I'll be back on this channel. Monday. I'll be back Monday probably. If not Monday, Tuesday. So y'all let me know if y'all want to listen to that tape. Okay, I see you. Keep it cute. Okay, boo. All right, we'll do that, y'all. I'll get it and we'll do that.
Around that shop and knew these young girls were coming there. And despite the fact that Jarvis Butts was on the registry, no one stepped in. Annette Harris, the grandmother who had legal custody of Naziah, allowed her to go down to the shop, and Shannon allowed her daughter to go down to the shop because, as she said, society had given him a second chance. So why shouldn't she? Now, that is why the judge later said that in many ways, the community had failed Naziah Harris. And for Jarvis Butts' own daughter, what happened would change her life forever. Listen to her impact statement.
Okay.
all the time. Sometimes I used to use them. And then when I worked at my old job, Frank's, I used to have them come and clean up my office and my bathroom and stuff, like probably like twice a month, give or take.
What's your relationship with like on the day-to-day? Like, are y'all have any interactions? Just y'all like y'all got a niece uncle relationship?
Yeah, we kind of like niece uncle, and I also get her and my daughter from time to time.
Your daughter who?
Janaya.
How you spell it?
J.A. Archford. N.I.Y.A.H.
Janaya.
Butts.
Go ahead. How is she?
She's 10.
Okay, again, if you could just.
Hey, Merle.
Try to talk in the
Good to
microphone.
see you.
If you're comfortable taking your mask down, probably hearing more clearly. State spelling interest. Very good. Whenever you're ready.
You were once someone I called that until you did what you did. You took someone I really loved, someone I call sister, my favorite cousin, my best friend, my everything. You changed the way I dress, the way I think. You even changed the way you did very hurtful things to me. I lived with the trouble you caused me. I no longer look at you as a father figure, no longer as a hero, but now I look at you as a mother. You called me trauma and made me look at men different. So I am reading this in regards to my little sister, Paris Bryant. She says, dear honorable judge, I stand before you today with deep resilience and determination. So, Mr. Jarvis Butts took away my childhood and shattered my sense of safety. Though I am still young, I have faced years of pain and trauma caused by his actions. Today, I speak with truth of what he stole from me starting at 4 years old. 33 years cannot undo the harm he caused. By the time he is eligible for release, he will be in his 70s. Mr. Butts continues to show that his character is to abuse children, and in my truth's heart, I believe he will abuse even in his old age. I remember what Judge Aaliyah Sabria said during the Zaya Harris hearing. Jarvis Butts, you are a monster in this whole picture. For me too, he was a monster, and for many other victims who may have never been ready to speak out. We see him on social media, the news, and on TV, but behind those screens are real victims whose lives he has broken. We should not look away or let Mr. Butts be given a lighter sentence because his actions leaving lifelong scars. Let his consequences be so no other child faces what I have. Thank you for listening and considering how this changed and impacted my life. Paris Bryant. Again, by expressing my deepest gratitude to the prosecuting attorneys and Sergeant Sharon Jones. I would not be writing this letter today if it wasn't for the tragic loss of Isaiah Harris. I often went many years without thinking of Jarvis Butts. Now seeing his image repeatedly, I have been overwhelmed with emotional and mental distress. I'm writing this in a deep place of vulnerability. I'm unsure if I will be able to attend sentencing as the toll on my mental health is immense. People cannot see the turmoil inside of me. I've been hospitalized many days I cannot get out of bed. And the last thing I want to do is suffer a panic attack in a courtroom. I want to be unequivocal. I believe in rehabilitation and breaking cycles of abuse. I believe people can change when they take responsibility and truly commit to doing the work. However, Mr. Butts is already a convicted sex offender when he abused me in 2014. He understood exactly what he was doing. He understood the harm. He understood the potential consequences of already being a convicted sex offender and of being convicted again. Despite knowing the harm and having every opportunity to stop, he continued to children. Mr. Butts has avoided accountability far too long. I urge you to see this as a chance to end a cycle of abuse. Mr. Butts will never have a chance to be free again, because if he is, there is a great chance he will continue to abuse children in his old age. We have a chance in this court, in this moment, to protect others and break the cycle of abuse once and for all. I'm asking you to consider the future we are trying to safeguard. Even if the court accepts the sentencing recommendation and plea agreement, which I sincerely hope it does not, I'll be present at every parole hearing, no matter where life takes me. Thank you again to all for seeking justice.
Honorable Judge Nicholas got Hathaway in the Wayne County Circuit Court. Good morning. To speak is to stand here before you. So just for the stars that me and my family Yeah. It has been 2 years and 2 months since I reported. Yes, I listen. I want you to know that my life
Hey, yours truly.
will never be the same. My family's life will never be the same without Messiah. And every day that I wake up with her, I wake up feeling depressed. It's another day without her. I love her. I miss her dearly. I can't tell her that because her life was I can't tell her that because I'm saying words cannot express just how much me and my family really miss and love Messiah. This has impacted my life and my family's life. There are days when I can't, when I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up feeling depressed. I don't want to talk to anyone, just get out of bed. The basic everyday things that I miss, I'm sorry. I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up. I'm a weak person. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just get out of bed. To do the basic everyday things that I need to get done. This has affected my health. I am seeing more than one doctor about my health, including seeing a therapist. I don't feel safe in my home. My address and my phone number has been put on social media. People have been trying to take pictures of my home. I have been threatened. My family have been threatened. They're just taking of me and my family following me in my car. They're just posting, setting up GoFundMe raises in the Zion's name without my permission. And this has also affected me financially. And my people do.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm different. No, actually, yeah, I am different. I think different. But now, even though I did not take a deep dive into these cases, I do know about some of the allegations made against these family members that allegedly knew, if not only that this man was a sex offender, but he was doing what he was doing. There's been allegations that these people knew. Hey, Miss Ann. Hey, Truth and everybody in the bushes because I'm working, but I want to ask what's the victim, his little cousin. No, by he was married to her aunt, so he would have been what, like her niece or something like that. I think he was married to her aunt, so she would have been his niece, right? Like by marriage, I think. But I did hear allegations that some of the family members knew or whatever. They did nothing. But what I'm sitting here listening to right now, the reason why it's rubbing me the wrong way is because I feel like a lot of times in cases like this, not only is the victim failed in life, like maybe after death, the victim is also failed once again because the focus is always placed on either the person that did it or other things. What I'm saying is this: I don't want to sit and listen to these people talk about how and what people have said and done on the internet. Now, I do know, as far as this case is concerned, there was a whole lot of going on with it. There was a whole lot of things being done to these people, and I get it. And it was a lot. That's why I had to step back. I really couldn't go deep into this one. It was a lot done to these people in real life. They were being stalked, they were being followed, they were being threatened. And I get it. It happened. It was done. It was not right at all. I don't feel like it's right for social media and people in these people real lives to be fucking with these people. Like honestly, whether they knew or not, whether they was complicit or not, because they will pay. It's not left up to us to give somebody their justice or whatever, unless we're on the jury. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to sit up here and listen to these grown people, because she's the second one. The sister did it first. They sit up here talking about what you went through as a result of what he did as far as social media. Why in the fuck do these people place so much emphasis on social media? Why do they pay so? Y'all know how I feel about this. This ain't my first time ranting about people up here crying about what's going on social media, because the thing about social media, you have options. You have choices when it comes to social media. Social media is not something that's forced upon none of us. We have to click. We have to click on it. We have to enter into the realm. It don't just jump out at us. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't want to hear this. This baby is gone. Her body has not been recovered. This sick bastard did this to this baby and his own kids. And you people allow him around knowing his history, knowing what the hell he had been convicted for. I don't give a damn. Okay, if you want to say forgive people, if people can change and all this and the third, bitch, you won't give me or mine the opportunity to find out whether or not you change, because you're not gonna be around. You're not gonna be around mine. I'm not taking a chance. Okay, but I just don't want to hear these grown people sitting up here talking about they did this to me on social media, they did that to me on social media, this and the third. Okay, we get it. It was done. It was wrong. But right now, focus on that baby. Focus on what happened to her. Focus on this motherfucker telling people where the fuck she's at. Focus on that and what he did to her.
When other people doing podcast shows, emailing me, I don't know.
It was all about y'all. It was all about y'all why this man was doing what he was doing. It was all about the grown people. The grown people had all the choices. It was all about y'all. Y'all decided not to do the thing. Y'all allowed this man to be around. It was all about y'all. Let it be about her today. This particular day. Let it be about her.
Please remain quiet.
Shut the fuck up.
An additional reminder, if you're going to have difficulty calling yourself, now would be a good time to be.
Sir, can you do that?
Yes. I'm sorry, were you through now?
No, Judge, I'm going to finish reading the written statement.
Very good. Please return to your seat. Mr. Makepeace, you can either get situated. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to go where I remember her stopping. Posting pictures, setting up GoFundMe fundraisers in Nazai's name without my permission. This has also affected me financially, and people doing podcast shows, emailing me, people that I don't know coming to my home, knocking on my door constantly. This is really hard and has been very painful for me, and I pray to God that no one and no other family will ever have to endure what me and my family have endured. This deserves attention and ongoing awareness to other families and people so that this does not happen to anyone, and other families like this has happened to me and my family. And that would be the conclusion of the statement from Annette Harris that was provided to my office, and that she was reading.
It's Shannon Harris. Marquita Harris.
Again, ma'am, you can make your way right up here. You can have a seat or you can stand, however you're most comfortable. Again, have that illuminating device, the microphone and recording device, just try to direct your voice into that. And if you just state and spell your name, please.
My name is Marquita Harris, M-A-R-K-E-T-T-A. Last name, Harris, H-A-R-R-I-S.
Thank you. And ma'am, you also have a prepared statement?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind just providing a copy to the prosecutor's office for the court file following the hearing today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. It has been 2 years, 2 months, 3 days since we heard, seen, or even physically touched Nazaya. This has tremendously affected my family and I mentally, physically, and emotionally. Since this case started, we have been physically assaulted in public, cyberbullied, harassed, stalked, and so much more. I became homeless, lost several jobs, and passed away.
You some selfish.
My life, my family life, will never be the same.
6 different cases today. Mr. Butts entered guilty pleas on all 6 of his cases, and there's sentence agreements negotiated on each one of the 6 files. Of course, it goes without saying that the offenses that Mr. Butts is here to be sentenced on are the most serious nature. Mr. Butts has a criminal history dating back to 1997. He spent time in Michigan Department of Corrections previously for a criminal sexual conduct conviction following a plea he entered in 2005. Noteworthy that he was paroled sometime in 2012 and almost immediately returned to his criminal behaviors upon being paroled. And Mr. Butts, I hope that you truly listened to all of the people who spoke here in open court and the impact that your inexcusable and horrendous behaviors have had on the lives of so many people. Mr. Butts, you're going to have many years to sit and dwell on your horrible actions. And it's often noted that justice is blind, but eventually, Mr. Butts, justice sees everything. It's noted by both sides. These 6 cases, very complex with a lot of moving parts. And I know that the prosecutor's office and the defense team spent a lot of hours working on resolutions to these 6 matters. And I wanted to thank them for their efforts. I'm also hopeful that although the court could never make the victims of any of these crimes truly whole again, hopeful that the lengthy prison sentence being imposed today is going to bring about some needed closure for all of the victims and their families so that they can begin the process. So I'll go case by case, Mr. Butts. Going to start with file 25000218018. Mr. Butts, for the offense of homicide, murder, 2nd degree of Nazaya Harris, court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement, 35 to 60 years in Michigan Department of Corrections. You do not have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Annette Harris or any family members of Nazaya Harris, either directly through yourself or through any other third party that includes all forms of social media as well. You're not viewed 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. I have to assess $130 for the time that assessment on that file, and I have to assess $68 state costs on that file as well. The term and condition of that sentence agreement, you're also to make a truthful statement regarding the location of the body of Nazaya Harris. With regard to court costs and attorney's fees, I'll address that at the end once I've completed all of the files. Moving next into file 24002236018FH. Mr. Butts, for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the 2nd degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older, the court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. You are going to be required to complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when you're referred by your agent. You are going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act and comply with all requirements of that act. You must provide a completed copy of the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration form to your field agent on your first in-person report following vacating your residence, and address change, address verification, or change in your status with an institution of higher education. At each address change or verification period, you must present your Michigan driver's license or operator's license or personal identification card to the field agent at the first in-person contact. On that file, you don't have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Michaela, M-I-K-A-Y-L-A Jackson, or any of her family members, either directly or through any other third party, again, including all forms of social media, not to be within 500 feet of their residence, school, or place of employment. Again, required to assess $130 for crime victims' rights assessment and $68 state cost. It's also required there's lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to MCL 750-520 and again, I'll address court costs and attorney's fees as we moving now to file number 24006232001FC. Mr. Butts, for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the 2nd degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older, the court will sentence you to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Then going to be required to complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when you're referred by the field agent. You're going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act, comply with all the requirements of the act, provide a copy of the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration form to your field agent when your first in-person report following vacating residence, any address change, address verification, or change in your status for the institution of higher education. Any status change verification period, you must present your driver's license or state identification card to your person contact. Again, you're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Paris Bryant or her family members. So it's either directly through yourself or if you want to third party, you have to be within 500 feet to the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, I'm assessing $130 of the crime victims assessment and $68 for the state costs. Again, you're going to have to comply with lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to MCL 75052. Right, moving to file 250002411FH, again, for the offense of criminal sexual conduct, second-degree person under 13, defendant 17 or older. Court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment referred by your agent. Again, you're required to register for the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act and comply with all requirements of the Act, which have been stated here previously in the record. You're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with AHLECHE, Dinwiddie, DINWIDDIE, or her family members, either directly for yourself, if you want to get a third party, not to use 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, assessing $130 for the crime victims assessment, $68 for the state costs. Again, there's mandatory lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to 7505210. Moving to file 25004478001 FH for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the third degree person 13 through 15. The court is going to sentence consistent with the sentence agreement 10 to 15 years in Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, you comply or complete, sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment number referred by your field agent. And you'll be required to register as a Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act. Terms and conditions have been noted on the record previously. You're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Jalen, JAYELYNN, White's common spelling, or her family, either directly or through any other third party. Again, you're not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, assessing $130 for crime victims assessment and $68 for state costs. Additionally, you submit to HIV testing and complete counseling associated with HIV and AIDS in the way of confidentiality and allow test results and medical information obtained from the test to be released to the court. And lastly, with regard to file 25006461011C for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older. Again, consistent with the sentence agreement, the court will sentence you to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, your complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment will be referred by your agent. Again, you're going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act, apply for all requirements of the Act, which have been stated previously in the record. You are not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Janiyah, JANIYAH, Butts, or her family, either directly or through any third party. You have to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Crime victims assessment, I'm going to set $130 and state costs the amount of $68. Again, lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to MCL 7505210. So defense has requested waiver of fees regarding court costs and attorney's fees. Do people have a position?
No position, leave it in the court's discretion.
All right, considering the lengthy prison sentence that the court is going to impose and the possibility of restitution being an issue, total waive court costs and attorney's fees, considering this possible spending proceed a future Michigan Department of Corrections. All right, jail credit. Let's talk about jail credit. All right. Jail credit on file ending file 24223601. Mr. Bucks will receive jail credit at 707 days. Jail credit. Docket 25000241101 will receive jail credit of 531 days. Docket 254478 will receive jail credit of 255 days. And lastly, docket 256461101 will receive jail credit of 167 days to his respective Michigan Department of Corrections sentences, noting that the terms and conditions of this agreement are that all of those sentences are to run concurrently. All right. Attorneys, before I get to appellate rights, turn it over to you, please.
Thank you, Judge. Just for the record, on file ending in 218, second degree murder conviction, I know I placed this on the record, that all terms of that plea agreement have been satisfied.
Yes, thank you. All right. And Mr. McPeace, were there counts being dismissed?
Oh, yes. Miss A.K. Ridley.
Very good. Mr. Ridley, if you could just kindly articulate, you can just do the last four respective file number with regard to the counts that are being dismissed consistently.
Yes, Judge. Under case 2236, people are dismissing counts 2, 3, and 4 and withdrawing the habitual offender for defense notice. Under case 6232, people are agreeing to dismiss counts 1 and 3 and withdrawing the notice to enhance habitual offender for defense notice. On case ending in 0218, people are going to dismiss counts 2, 3, and 4 and the notice to enhance habitual offender notice. As to docket number 0241, people are moving to dismiss counts 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and withdrawing notice to enhance habitual for defense notice. And docket number 4478, people are moving to dismiss count 2 and withdrawing notice to enhance sentence habitual offender for defense notice. Finally, in docket number 6461, people are moving to dismiss counts 1, 2, 3, 4.
Being on the sex offenders list, or any kind of activity about that? Like, had you even heard of anything like that before out of him?
When I met him, when I was 19, he did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. Out and out. He gave me the decision if I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was sex offender involving a child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
One, I was 19, and two, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
I can dig it.
Oh, he did it?
Oh my God. You got the Billy shirt? I'm about to try it on first. Yeah, look.
Okay, if it's like a Billy shirt like it's supposed to, so we're only going to cut the top.
So I'm not gonna make it perfectly, and I'm supposed to show you the outfit. So, but cut the bottom, and I'm gonna come back, and then y'all gonna see the results. Okay. Cut the bottom. Don't mind that crackhead. After I cut the bottom, and the sides. So the fit is almost done. I'm gonna show y'all. Just give me a minute. Okay. First you got the socks. I got the white one though. You kind of got that pink and white tie-dye shirt. That was designed by me. And now you have the shorts designed by me. Now you got the white pink. So hey y'all, I got this shit. Got this thing off at TikTok. I know it's old and stuff, but it just clicked on my mind like got the store. I got to post the picture in the Kool-Aid. So let's get it. First I like to take the first bite.
And that okay.
Okay, I got it all on there. So let's take a bite.
I got some on there. I was good for you. No, you wasn't.
That was ours.
Some breaking news to report. Convicted
Speaks. I thought they were going to talk about the I may need to go search further for that video, but for another video that talks about where he could said that he had threw in the river. We're gonna do a part 2 anyway, so I'll go search for that video and bring it back. So this next one is, of course, Carlos King, and this is he dropped this, I think, either yesterday or today. Not today, yesterday or the day before. I'm thinking it was yesterday. When they found Mr. Jarvis Butts in his cell unalive. He's got 2 videos speaking about it. We're going to listen to each one. Y'all continue to talk in the chat. Ask me questions. I'll ask y'all questions. And yeah, we're going to do a part 2 on this. And then we're probably going to not, that's probably going to be it on it. Because we're going to listen to that interrogation video and anything else I have to bring. Because like I said, this was a 2-year thing. And it was a lot. It was a whole lot that went on with this. And there's no way I'm going to revisit all of that stuff. But let's listen to what Carlos has to say about his unalive.
killer Jarvis Butts found dead in prison.
Well. What's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video. As you can see, I am in great spirits right now. So if you don't know what's going on, we're going to talk about it real quick. And I will be bringing you out more updates with official details a little bit later this evening, or when they do release whatever they do release about the situation. Now, look, first of all, I got to start this out by saying RIP to Naziah Harris, the beautiful little girl who lost her life due to the fact of a weird, funky fucker taking her life after manipulating her, taking advantage of her, and also getting her pregnant. Now, a lot of different things are circulating about the situation. I have seen over 40 confirmed sources speaking about this right here. Also, the Detroit Department of Corrections has also stated that he did, in fact, check out. Now, it is under investigation as of now, but I'm pretty sure they know what happened. And more sources are starting to come out to say that he ended his own subscription to life. Now, if he did, more power to him. If somebody else took him out, that's what's up. But I simply want to say, man, he didn't deserve to be here no way. With this being less than 2 weeks of him being sentenced, man, that's crazy. I think that he thought that he literally was going to have a break or do something to the effect of getting out, you know, at a reasonable time for the crime that he committed. But in all actuality, he was sentenced to 30 to 65 years plus an additional 10 to 15 years for other crimes, even including someone as young as 4 years old at the time. So basically, they found him unresponsive. They took him somewhere to try to save his life, but ultimately, you know, he succumbed to whatever took place. So I feel like that this is allegedly. I feel like they didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no need to try. He didn't deserve to be here for what he did to that baby. You know.
Who you talking about, Miss Margie? Thank you for the support, boo. I appreciate it. Thank you. Who you talking about? Say y'all heard what she just said. I wonder who Miss Margie talking about.
But I do believe that something will come of this, and what I mean by that is.
Thank you again,
Nah, I gotta be careful with what I say. I'm about to go in, boy. But for those who don't know what's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and place the video of the sentencing at the end of this video right here. And I'm gonna also try to put a couple of different other videos together. And if I don't do that, I will do that later, because I know a lot of people want to revisit certain things. They want to, you know, kind of listen to what took place at the sentencing again and things like this. I'm gonna let y'all do that as well.
What you saying about the auntie? What she said? I guess I didn't know if you was behind or what, because did we hear what she just said? What she said, Miss Margie? She said a lot that did. Oh, girl, Lisa, that helpful. Are you talking about what she said? She knew his history or his background or whatever. Yeah, they all knew. Thank y'all for the likes on this live stream. I appreciate it. If you have not double tapped that screen to like the video, please do so at this time. Thank you for all the support. Y'all can please continue to support the channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you feel it in your spirit, please join the membership. The membership link, we do now have membership on this channel. I will be holding members on the lives on this channel. It would be so easy to hold membership lives on this channel, other than my more easier than my T channel. Yeah, we will be doing membership lives on this channel. So if you want to join the membership, the link is pinned at the top. Hey, Miss Lynn, good to see you. Oh yeah, she did say that, Miss Margie. She did say it. She said she knew from the gate, and he gave her the option, which of course we know she had that option, whether or not she wanted to date him or not, and she did. Ain't that a bitch? Mm-hmm.
But I simply want to say, man, RIP to her again. You know, it's sad and unfortunate that she lost her life. He literally manipulated her and so many others. And I feel like other people that were associated with the situation should be charged as well. Since they got him out of the way in some way, shape, form, fashion, it's their turn. You know, but we'll never know what will come of that until the time gets here. But other than that, I don't say what I have to say so far about it. It ain't too much to say so far, because really there's not a lot of information out there as of yet. But give me a couple of hours and I should have y'all something else. But it is confirmed he did, in fact, check out. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all get into these and we're gonna talk in the comments. Right. And man, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, before I let y'all get into this, he was supposed to let them know where her body was. So now this family has to go through life with a possibility of them never finding her. I hope he left a letter or something if he did check out. And if he didn't, oh well. But yes, he was supposed to let the people know that. And he didn't. And that shit lying. Now let's get into these.
Report. We've got some breaking news to report. Convicted Jarvis Butts found in prison. Butts pled guilty to Naziah Harris. He received a 35 to 60-year prison sentence and for assaulting multiple girls. His cause of death was not revealed. We have multiple calls into authorities, and we'll have much more on this story throughout the day.
Well, again, Mr. Butts is here today. He's sentenced for 6 different cases today. Mr. Butts entered guilty pleas on all 6 of his cases, and there's sentence agreements negotiated on each one of the 6 files. Of course, it goes without saying that the offenses that Mr. Butts is here to be sentenced on are the most serious nature. Mr. Butts has a criminal history dating back to 1997. He spent time in Michigan Department of Corrections previously for a criminal sexual conduct conviction following a plea he entered in 2005. It's noteworthy that he was paroled sometime in 2012 and almost immediately returned to his criminal behaviors upon being paroled. And Mr. Butts, I hope that you have truly listened to all of the people who spoke here in open court and the impact that your inexcusable and horrendous behaviors have had on the lives of so many people. Mr. Butts, you're going to have many years to sit on your horrible actions. And it's often noted that justice is blind, but eventually, Mr. Butts, justice sees everything. It's noted by both sides. These 6 cases are very complex with a lot of moving parts. And I know that the prosecutor's office and the defense team spent a lot of hours working in resolutions to these 6 matters. And I wanted to thank them for their efforts. I'm also hopeful that although the court could never make the victims of any of these crimes truly whole again, I'm hopeful that the lengthy prison sentence being imposed today is going to bring about some needed closure for all of the victims and their families so that they can begin the healing process. So I'll go case by case, Mr. Butts. I'm going to start with file 25-000-21801FH. Mr. Butts, for the offense of homicide, murder, second degree of Neziah Harris. Court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement, 35 to 60 years in Michigan Department of Corrections. You're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Annette Harris or any family members of Neziah Harris, either directly through yourself or through any other third party that includes all forms of social media as well. You're not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. I have to assess $130 for the crime victim's assessment on that file, and I have to assess $68 state costs on that file as well. The determined condition of that sentence agreement, and also to make a truthful statement regarding the location of the body of Neziah Harris. With regard to court costs and attorney's fees, I'll address that at the end once I've completed all of the files. Moving next into file 24-002-23601FH. Mr. Butts, for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in second degree, person under 13 or under 17 or older, the court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. You are going to be required to complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when you're referred by your agent. You are going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act and comply with all requirements of that act. You must provide a complete copy of the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration form to the field agent on your first in-person report following vacating of residence, and address change, address verification, or change in your status with an institution of higher education. At each address change or verification period, you must present your Michigan driver's license or operator's license or personal identification card to the field agent at the first in-person contact. On that file, you don't have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Michaela, M-I-K-A-Y-L-A Jackson, or any of her family members, either directly or through any other third party, again, including all forms of social media, not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, required to assess $130 for crime victims' rights assessment and $68 state cost. It's also required for lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to MCL 750-520. And again, I'll address court costs and attorney's fees at the end. Moving now to file number 24-006-23201C. Mr. Butts, for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older, the court will sentence you to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Then you're going to be required to complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when you're referred by the field agent. You're going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act, comply with all the requirements of the act, provide a copy of the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration form to the field agent, and first in-person report following vacating residence, any address change, address verification, or change in your status with an institution of higher education. At each address change verification period, you must present your driver's license or state identification card to the agent at your first in-person contact. Again, you're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Paris Bryant or her family members. It's either directly through yourself if you want to be a third party, you have to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, I'm assessing $130 of the crime victim's assessment and $68 for the state cost. Again, it's going to have to comply with lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to NCL 750-520. All right, moving to file 25-000-24101FH, again for the offense of criminal sexual conduct, second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older. The court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement to 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, you complete sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when you're referred by your agent. Again, you're required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act, comply with all requirements of the act which have been stated here previously in the record. You're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with AHLECHE, Dinwiddie, DINWIDDIE, or her family members, either directly for yourself or any third party, not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, assessing $130 for the crime victim's assessment, $68 for the state costs. Again, there's mandatory lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to 750-520. Moving to file 25-004-47801FH for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the third degree, person 13 through 15. The court is going to sentence you consistent with the sentence agreement 10 to 15 years from Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, you comply or complete, sexual abuse prevention programming or other treatment when referred by the field agent, and you'll be required to register as under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act. Terms and conditions have been noted on record previously. You're not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Jaylen, Jaylynn White, common spelling, or her family, either directly or through any other third party. Again, you're not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Again, assessing $130 for crime victims assessment and $68 for state costs. Additionally, you're to submit to HIV testing and complete counseling associated with HIV and AIDS, and waive confidentiality and allow test results and medical information obtained from that test to be released to the court. And lastly, with regard to file 25006461001C for the offense of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, person under 13, defendant 17 or older, again, consistent with the sentence agreement, court says 10 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Again, your complete sexual abuse prevention programming or the treatment and you're referred by your agent. Again, you're going to be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act, apply all requirements of the act, which has been stated previously on the record. You are not to have any verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Janiyah, J-A-N-I-Y-A-H, Butts, or her family, either directly or through a third party, and not to be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. Crime victims assessment, going to assess $130 and state costs in the amount of $68. Again, lifetime electronic monitoring pursuant to MCL 7505201. So defense has requested waiver of fees regarding court costs and attorney's fees to people who have a position.
No positions, leave it in the court's discretion.
Considering the lengthy prison sentence that the court is going to impose, the possibility of restitution being an issue, over the court costs and attorney's fees, considering this about human spending, proceed of future Michigan Department of Corrections.
Thank you.
All right, jail credit. Let's talk about jail credit. All right. Jail credit on file ending file 24223601. Mr. Butts will receive jail credit of 707 days. Jail credit on docket 24623201 will receive jail credit of 531 days. Docket number 25021801 will receive jail credit of 531 days. Docket 2500241101 will receive jail credit of 531 days. Docket 254478 will receive jail credit of 255 days. And lastly, docket 2564611 will receive jail credit of 167 days to his respective Michigan Department of Corrections sentences, noting that the terms and conditions of this agreement are that all of those sentences are to run concurrently. All right. Attorneys, before I get to appellate rights, turn it over to Mr. McPeace.
Thank you, Judge. Just for the record, on file ending in 218, second degree murder conviction, I know I put this on the record last, but all terms of that plea agreement have been satisfied.
Yes, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Merle. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
And Mr. Makepeace, were there counts being dismissed?
Oh, yes. Ms. A.K. Ripley is more than great.
Very good. Ms. Ripley, if you could just kindly articulate, you can just do the last four of the respective file number with regard to the counts that are being dismissed consistently.
Yes, Judge. Under case 2236, people are dismissing counts 2, 3, and 4 and withdrawing the habitual offender court defense notice. Under case 6232, people are agreeing to dismiss counts 1 and 3 and withdrawing the notice to enhance habitual offender court defense notice. On case ending in 0218, people are moving to dismiss counts 2 and 4 and then the notice to enhance habitual to dismiss counts 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and withdrawing notice to enhance habitual court defense notice. And docket number 4478, people are moving to dismiss count 2 and withdrawing notice to enhance sentence habitual offender court defense notice. And finally, in docket number 6461, people are moving to dismiss counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And hold on, that one's not right, Judge.
What file are you looking at, Mr. Ripley?
6461. I have it here. Yeah, it's count 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. He pled to count 3 and withdraw the habitual offender for defense notice.
That was it, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. The defense, I presume no objection. No.
No.
All right, those counts and enhancements will be dismissed and or withdrawn consistent with the agreements. Mr. Butts, you do have some appellate rights. Counsel, has he been afforded with an appellate rights?
He has been assigned.
And did we give him an appellate rights form for each one of his files?
Yes.
Great. All right, for purposes of the record, Mr. Butts, because you entered pleas with regard to those 6 cases, you would have 42 days to file an application requesting you to appeal your various convictions and sentences if you wanted to do that. Mr. Butts, if you wanted an attorney to assist you with those applications and you could not afford an attorney, you have to request an attorney in 42 days, quote, and appoint you an attorney, provide them portions of the record and transcripts needed to assist you with those applications. So, Mr. Butts, you will go with the sheriffs here today. They will make sure you make your way back to Wayne County Jail, and ultimately you'll find your way to the appropriate Michigan Department of Corrections facility. That being noted, attorneys, is there anything additional for today's record?
Not for the people, Judge.
I don't have to do that, Judge.
All right, we're all going to exit this courtroom in an orderly fashion. You're going to listen to the sheriffs and Brown. They're going to direct traffic with regard to getting out. What I would say is don't move until you're directed to move. Thank you. That will conclude the record.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so that was Carlos's video on him being sentenced. We heard what he was sentenced to and the conditions of his sentencing. So let's go to the next one. This is the last video for today. This is an update. Carlos came up with an update. He's probably got clips.
Since I report,
of course, from the court. What y'all know about the repetitiveness that we listen to or whatever. But like I say, it's always a new hidden gem in each video that we react to. So we're gonna listen to this one. Y'all continue to type in the chat. I appreciate the support. Thank y'all so much for supporting my comeback, baby. Y'all done showed out today, and I really appreciate it. Thank y'all for supporting this channel all together. For those that who may not have been here in the beginning, in case I forget when we end, I plan on coming on this channel consistently now every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If I feel the need to go live on a Monday or Friday, I will. But I will. I'm going to strive. I'm going to. I can't even say the word. I can't even come up with it. I'm going to do my best to at least come on here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, y'all, consistently. Like I said, this channel is growing slowly but surely. It is monetized, and now that we do have memberships, we're going to become a member. Hit that link below and join the membership, okay? But yeah, I appreciate y'all's support. I do. Let's listen, y'all.
I want you to know that my life will never be the same. I had to remind myself that my niece, Nazaya, isn't coming back.
I hope that every victim and my niece and nephews can heal.
14 days later, that man was found dead in a cell.
Well. Hello, you guys. I'm back again with another video. Like I said earlier, you can tell I am in great spirits today. You know what I'm saying? So I want to send y'all some love and positive energy our way, to those who say it back to me in return, or to those who just reciprocate their good positive energy back to me. But if you don't know, now you will know that Jarvis Butts did kick the bucket today. He's out of here like he should have been. He kicked the bucket. And if you don't know who Jarvis Butts is, he's the guy who took the young lady's life, the beautiful child, Nazaya Harris's life. She was 13. Basically, he got her pregnant and wanted her to get rid of the baby and things like that. And one thing led to another, and he ended up taking her life. Now, basically, with this whole situation, with him kicking the bucket today, they're stating that, he ended his own subscription to life. So you know what that means. He checked that on his own. They said that they did everything that they could do to make sure that he could survive, but he did not make it. Now, like I said before, and I will continue to say, and everything I am saying, every single word that come out of my mouth is allegedly. I don't feel like they were trying to help, because he didn't deserve no help. I feel like, anybody that's pertaining to it, probably
I did state at the beginning that there are people that either think one or two things. There are people out there that think that maybe he did not take his own life, and if he did take his own life, they really didn't try to save him. We don't know. Probably will never know. Either way, some people feel like it's justice that he's gone. I know probably most people think it's justice that he's gone. To be honest, I don't think the sentencing he got. I'm gonna speak on the sentence. I'm not gonna speak on his unaliving so much, not right now. But as far as his sentence, I don't think it was justice served. I think there not have should been years. There should have been life. That's just my opinion. Not only did you violate this young lady and many others, including your own children, you unalive this young lady. You know what I'm saying? So no, years what? No, he needed to get life. Did I think he deserved death? Well, y'all know how I feel about the death penalty. And then too, I don't know if people think like I think as far as death is concerned. And I'm gonna say it out loud. I don't think I've ever said it out loud as far as I think about the death penalty, even though people that actually receive the death penalty, it'd be years and years and years. There's so many people on death row too. It's amazing. People do get sentenced to the death penalty, and that's a process that, for some reason, I don't know why, not in all cases, but most, it's years before these people are put to death. I think, to be honest, for a person, do I think it's justice for a person that receives the death penalty to get the death penalty? I feel like death is checking out. I feel like sometimes my mind go back and forth with the whole death penalty thing, because I sometimes I feel like for a person that has done, committed a crime just so atrocious that they receive the death penalty, that if they get put to death, then to me is like an easy way out. For some reason, I think people that make others suffer should suffer too as well. I don't know. When it comes to the death penalty and things of that nature, my mind be all over the place sometimes. It really does. Because I think it all depends on the situation. For me, maybe, I don't know. But whether he took his own life or somebody else did it, he got off easy. Now, we're not going to even talk about the afterlife. We know he's going to pay in the afterlife, but as far as here on earth, those young women, those young girls are never going to be the same that he violated, and Miss Naziah is gone. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
Thoughts and opinions. They probably let him suffer. Ain't no point in helping cuz do nothing with his funky ass. But basically, a lot of people were thinking that someone took his life and stuff like that. Me personally, I feel like he was gonna be in PC, something of the sort. But I do want to say, if that was the case, if he was gonna do this, why not just do this from the beginning instead of taking her life? You see what I'm saying? But he thought he was slicker than grease and got caught. Tried to take the trial. He quit the trial. It's all type of different shits going on, man. So, people are saying stuff. One of my supporters today was trying to tell me that they did know where the body was and they didn't. You can Google this information and stuff like that. They found evidence pertaining to where she was possibly at, and it was basically a contributing factor to the investigation, but they did not actually release any information stating that they knew where she was. Now, I feel like that if they didn't know, then they definitely should not have gave him that deal. But I'm pretty sure now that everything is over with pertaining to him, more things will come out about this whole situation. Now, if he didn't leave a letter or something like that to give them some closure, boy, that's messed up. But it's the beginning of what's going on with this. So we might find out more as things come. And if some more updates come out today, I'll drop them. But RIP to that baby, man. I really do hate that. And I gotta say this again. I feel like anybody associated with this situation and knew about it should be in jail. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I agree.
Now, I did a video about
those that knew about it. I totally agree. That's why I'm not sitting up here feeling no pity, no sorrow, or nothing for these adults that get up on this stand and want to cry about what they've been through because of what this man did. And y'all knew what he was capable of. Y'all knew what he had done. Y'all sat there and was complicit. That baby could have been saved. She did not have to leave this earth. I agree that those grown adults that knew what was going on should be locked the hell up. I don't want to hear you crying about this person said this on social media, this person said that. That is just ridiculous. You motherfuckers are selfish, and you're still being selfish to this day. Selfish. Worrying about, more concerned about your own needs, and when it comes into children, you're supposed to put the children first. Put the children first. Bunch of selfish ass bitches. That's what they are. Sorry.
this not too long ago, and I let y'all hear certain things, but I'm getting new subscribers. I hate calling y'all there, new supporters, new family members over here who rock with me. I call y'all my fam every day. Y'all come over here and y'all didn't see what I have been posting prior to today or whenever you subscribe to the channel. But basically, people spoke out basically saying that they knew this and they knew that. I got the testimony in here as well too, where they was up there speaking about certain stuff. But I didn't see no tears. There was a whole bunch of bullshit going on. I ain't gonna lie, y'all know I gotta keep it all the way 1,000. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get into these updates.
I don't know this now. Somebody put in the chat that the mama. So this is a whole general curse type thing going on with these people. I think somebody put in the chat that the mama allegedly was raped by her mama's husband, and she got pregnant. I don't know where the mama is. I said I don't listen. This case was too much for me. This is one I gotta admit to that I did not follow like that. I heard bits and pieces. I heard things. I saw things. I did not, do a deep dive into because I just couldn't. I couldn't. Now I can at this point go back in Carlos's content. Do I have anything pressing? I can go back in his content and maybe pull some of his videos on the case. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot because, like I said, this has been going on for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I say, if y'all gonna support it, if y'all interested, if y'all want me to, I can go back and I'll go back and I'll play his stuff because it gets right to the point. His stuff is straightforward. It has nothing but facts. It don't have all that extra in it. So I can go back and pull. If y'all just want me to do that, I can go back and pull his videos on this case, and we can listen to and react to. We can go back. If y'all want me to, y'all just let me know in the chat. But I don't. As far as I don't know where the mama is, where she's at, and why the grandmama had cussing and this and that and the third. But I think somebody said she was on drugs or whatever. I don't know. But I'm sure in his content that question will be answered. So y'all just let me know in the chat what y'all want to do. It's up to y'all. Like I say, it's all on y'all.
Let y'all watch them basically in court and talking to the interviewers and stuff like that about what was going on and stuff like that. Now, it ain't that many updates out there, but what I just told y'all, but when more do come out, like full-length details come out, I got y'all. Other than that, I'm gonna holler at y'all in the comments. I'm gonna let y'all get into these videos, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. For those who do, I'll holler at y'all in a minute.
Other top story at 5, Jarvis Butts, the man convicted for the murder of 13-year-old Neziah Harris and a string of other assaults, was found dead this morning inside his prison cell.
That's right. It happened at the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center over in Jackson County. Jay Scott Smith live on the story for us this evening. Jay, he'd only been there for just a few days.
Yeah, he hadn't even been there 2 weeks, Karen. Good evening, everybody. And word that this had happened, it started kind of circulating on social media around the city earlier today. We did end up getting it confirmed, and it just adds another layer to just this tragic situation.
The last time we saw Jarvis Butts was 2 weeks ago, as he sat quietly in a green jumpsuit with a mask covering his face, as women and girls spoke of the impact the 43-year-old predator had on their lives.
It has been 2 years and 2 months since I reported Neziah missing. I want you to know that my life will never be the same. I had to remind myself that my niece Neziah isn't coming back.
I hope that every victim and my niece and nephews can heal.
14 days later, that man was found dead in a cell, likely by suicide, at the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center in Jackson, where he'd been for the last 10 days. The Michigan Department of Corrections confirmed his death to Local 4 just after 10 o'clock this morning. The Department of Corrections saying in a statement, quote, MDOC staff provided life-saving measures which were unsuccessful. The death is currently being reported as... It brings a bitter end to a saga that came to the surface after 13-year-old Neziah Harris back in January of 2024. The 43-year-old Butts had been sentenced to 35 to 60 years in prison for Harris after he pleaded guilty 1 month earlier on February 12th, and he pled guilty to 5 other assault charges in 6 different cases. Butts had been abusing Harris since 2022, starting with texts and photos being sent to the then 11-year-old Neziah. She disappeared on January 9th, 2024. It was also revealed that the teen was pregnant by Butts, with the prosecutor's office noting that Butts did web searches for abortions, abortion pills, and drinking red antifreeze before Harris's death. Butts eventually admitted to body in the Rouge River near 7 Mile and Berg. However, Harris's body has not been found more than 2 years later.
Now, Butts had been at this facility, Egler, for 10 days. Now, it's actually a place where they often will take inmates before they get shipped off to the place where they're going to actually serve their time. But like we mentioned earlier, he was found dead today. They said that they think this is but it is currently being investigated by the Michigan State Police. Live in Detroit, I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
Corrections says Jarvis Butts was found dead in a prison in Jackson.
Butts had pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Neziah Harris. He was just given a sentence of 35 to 60 years just 2 weeks ago. The Detroit teen's body was never found. Butts was also sentenced for assaulting. Now, at this point, the Department of Corrections says that it's being reported as
In her short life, the exploitation, deprivations, abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing.
Years before Jarvis Butts would be charged by Wayne County's prosecutor, accused of and 13-year-old Neziah Harris, Harris's own relatives say they saw the warning signs and told anyone who would listen.
So at that point, I said, this is too much. I'm calling CPS. I tried not just once, but multiple times for them to take me serious in what I was saying.
Kiwana Morton and her cousin Jernell are both relatives of Neziah Harris. In February of 2022, Jernell says she learned of allegations of improper touching involving Butts and other small children. She says she was told about the claims while talking to her niece, Jarvis Butts' girlfriend, and that the alleged victims were Neziah Harris and 2 other children.
I was just like, oh my God, I was not crazy. This needs to be looked into.
She says she took the claim seriously in part because Butts was on the offender registry, having spent more than 8 years in prison for third-degree criminal conduct. She didn't alert authorities at first because she believed her niece would notify police. But weeks later, Jernell did notify Child Protective Services. Her complaint came in on April 3rd.
Hold on, y'all. This boy. Hold on.
Neziah and name withheld reported that Jarvis touched both of them immediately as well. Jarvis touched, name withheld in her area, and it hurt. Jernell made the complaint over the phone.
They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out.
The next day, Jernell would receive a text from her niece, Butts' girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids, then they called back to get Jarvis info. A CPS spokeswoman would not tell 7 News Detroit if investigators ever questioned Neziah Harris after receiving the complaint. But we do know it wasn't the only complaint filed with CPS naming Jarvis Butts.
And it wasn't easy for me to call Protective Services just because of the horror stories that you hear.
Kiwana Morton said she heard about the same allegations against Butts from a conversation with his girlfriend. 2 months after her cousins called the CPS, she would file her own complaint.
I told them that there's a problem and they need to be aware of it. I am 90% sure that there's abuse going on within the home.
Did you specifically mention Jarvis by name?
Yes, absolutely.
Internal CPS records we obtained show that investigators looked into that complaint, conducting a face-to-face interview with Butts, who strongly denied the allegation. A forensic interview was conducted with the alleged victim, and no disclosures were made. CPS at the home was clean and free of observed safety concerns. The allegation was denied, assigned a low-risk level. These are 2 complaints of at least 5 filed with CPS since 2015, naming Jarvis Butts. They allege concerns about possible malnutrition, physical abuse, or living conditions. Some of the complaints are generic, and none would ultimately substantiate that Butts was improperly touched. Just over a year after the last complaint on record, Butts will be charged with assaulting and Neziah Harris.
I'm brokenhearted because this could have been prevented. All of it. All of it could have been prevented.
Attorneys for Jarvis Butts declined comment for this story, citing his pending criminal case. As for CPS, a spokeswoman for the Department of Health and Human Services said their hearts go out to the family and friends of Neziah Harris. They said that state and federal laws prohibit them from commenting on what we've reported, but that they're committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children. I'm Ross Jones, 7 News Detroit.
Just wanted to explain a few things to you. That red illuminated device in front of you, yes, that's a microphone. It's also a recording device. And I see that you have a written copy of the statement. Okay, so when you are done, if you could just provide a copy of that, perhaps the prosecutor's office, we can make a copy of that, okay? And then you can sit or stand, however you would like to do it. Just make sure that you're keeping your voice nice and loud and clear for us. If you could just first state and tell you.
Excuse me. And then here's ANNETTEHARRIS.
Thank you. And there are connects there. If needed, and whenever you're ready.
Now, basically, y'all let me know in the chat because so he never told where her body is. Now, I mean, Martha, they mentioned that he said at the beginning he had put in the river. But I don't know if he actually, after being sentenced, came back and said that same thing because I just don't know. Now, what the rest of this video is, we just heard on Shanitra's video. Is the grandmother talking? I think the auntie and the other auntie talking. If y'all want to listen to this again, I'll replay it. I'll let it play out. If not, y'all let me know. Let me see if I can find. Give me just a second. See if I can find something on. Because if I go to the family, they probably got the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, he got a video too as well, which probably gonna cover some of the same things. But what's about to play on this video is that same testimony we heard before. I don't think I really want to listen to them again. Let me see. Let me go to the family's video. We'll play that, and that'll be the last one we play for today. And then when we come back, y'all, we're gonna listen to that entire. Don't play this up. I know, right? I don't want to hear it either. Natasha, to be honest. Let me go to the family's video, which is probably gonna entail some of the same things, but it's okay. It's gonna be the last one we listen to today. And then we come back, we're gonna get into the interrogation video, and I'm gonna compile a playlist of all of Carlos's King videos on this, and we might go, we just might revisit it, y'all. I don't know. I know Nicole wants us to, so let me pull up the family. And I'm gonna share the family's video out on my community wall too as well. Y'all go over and check him out. I love his channel too as well. Y'all know that. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know why this thing won't blow up, but hold on. Anyway, I'm gonna start playing it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Truth. You're welcome to call. Okay, there it is. All right, so let's listen to the family video.
What the family feels.
Before I get into the charges, in the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on Isaiah Harris and the community. And I'm only presented with her. The family knows more than me, but from what several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, aka King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including Isaiah, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came to the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and Isaiah that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and Sanaya, from what I got. I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions.
Fam, I won't blame you if you can't even imagine this far. But imagine doing something so unthinkable that the moment you step inside the cell, your life already got an expiration date on it. Not from the courts, not from the judge, but from the people around you. And before you even get a chance to serve that time, you was found dead. And now, that's exactly what just happened. Fam, this might be one of those rare causes that people from all sides may come together and say, we're not mad at the outcome at all. But at the same time, there's still going to be people who feel like this was the easy way out. Now, over the last 24 hours, I've been gathering as much information as possible about a man who did the unthinkable. Not to 1, not to 2, not to 3, not to 4, but possibly 5 or more children, including one of his own daughters. We've already been covering this story step by step, from when it first broke to when he was arrested, and even his sentencing. But now, less than a month after that sentencing, this man was found dead inside a jail cell, and not just any cell. We're going to get into exactly where he was at and why that matters. because the location alone could explain everything. Now, the big question is simple. What really happened? Did somebody get to him, or did he make a decision on his own? And while a lot of people may already have their own opinions, we're going to stick with what we actually know. Based on the information available, this is a man who had just accepted a plea deal and was facing decades behind bars. He had time to sit there and think and what was his reality was about to look like. So today, we're not going all the way back through this full case. Most of y'all already know the story, but we will acknowledge the victims once again. And I know one question still stings with a lot of people. Where are the body? Authorities say they're satisfied with what he told them, but they're not releasing that to the public. Now later on, I'll give you my take based on what's been put out. But for now, we're going to focus on what just happened, how he lost his life, where he was at, and why this may have been his final decision. Before we get into it, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no aim. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. All right, fam, let's slow down for a second. Just like your house or a casino, every house got its own rules, and that includes the jailhouse. You violate, chances are you pay. And one thing that's known everywhere, no matter where you go, is how people look at crimes involving children. I don't care if it's a male or female. There are consequences that come with that, because at the end of the day, most people, no matter what they've done in life, got a child, a niece, nephew, or a little cousin. So when it comes to a situation like that, it hit different. And inside those walls, some people take that personal. No, I'm not saying it's right, but that's the reality of how it goes. And with all that being said, and Jarvis Butts knew that too, a Detroit man convicted of murdering a 13-year-old identified as Naziah Harris. He understood exactly what he was walking into, which brings us to something a lot of people don't fully understand, how the jail process actually works at the beginning. Because before you ever make it to where you was going to serve your time at, you usually go through what's called intake. Now, intake is basically the holding stage. This is where you first get processed, your charges get confirmed, your information gets logged, and you get medically checked / classified, and where you temporarily housed. You're not in your final destination yet. You haven't been fully placed. You're just waiting to be transferred, waiting to be moved, waiting to find out where you're really about to spend your time. And depending on the situation, that could take days, weeks, sometimes longer. Here's a guy who gives a great example on how that process works, who's unrelated to this case. Check it out.
When I walked into the jail, I was hopeless. I had been living on fried chicken and cocaine. I just turned 18. I was 150 pounds, and I had not slept in days. I definitely not slept well in weeks or months. So the first thing I did after getting booked in and counting bricks on the wall was lay my head on the bare mattress and go to sleep. I didn't even put sheets on there. They opened the tray slot, they put food there. I got up, I ate the food, I went straight back to sleep. I basically just slept and ate for 2 days straight. Then they moved me to a receiving block, then they eventually moved me to a long-term pod. That was when I noticed, it really hit me that people weren't leaving. Like, people were in those cells, people were in those pods for days, weeks, outside. They were literally just living in the crossings. I packed all my stuff up. I took it up to the front, and they stuck me in my street clothes, the clothes that I was arrested in. So for the first time after wearing scrubs and slip-on blue shoes, I was wearing real clothes, and it felt so strange to tighten the buttons and put on a belt. It just felt bizarre. They put me in the back of the car, and they take me to the receiving prison, which is where you go to get classified. They look at your charges, they look at your history, figure out what level prison they're going to send you to, and then you go on the waiting list to go to that prison. And it was the easiest and the best, because that first day, I got to go outside. And I remember just standing there under the open sky and just being in awe, because I hadn't been under the open sky except in little transport from the van to court in 10 months or in 11 months. I was just standing there feeling the sun on my skin. It was freezing cold, but it did not matter, because it was like, oh my God, like I'm outside. Like this is it. Like this is worth it.
Now, also in that stage was Jarvis Butts. Just last week, fam. Now you're about to understand why I had to explain that and give context on his mindset based on the facts. As mentioned, he was sentenced to 35 to 60 years after accepting the plea. And because of his charges, even though in jail shouldn't be nothing positive to think about, they say hope for the best and prepare for the worst. There was no hope in his case. There was no hope in where he was getting transferred to. The only thing he had in mind was long time and bad thoughts while he was at a cell at the Charles E. Egler Reception and Guidance Center near Jackson, Michigan. The facility is about 75 miles west of Detroit and about 35 miles south of Langston, the state capital. That later confirmed he was in intake, waiting to be transferred out while letting reality sit in. And less than 2 weeks after he was sentenced, Jarvis Butts, 43 years old, on March 26, 2026, was found dead inside his jail cell, later confirmed by Michigan Department of Corrections. This is the only story in 4 years we not saying rest in peace to the victim. And God know my heart in the right place.
Jarvis Butts, the man convicted of killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris and sexually assaulting her and other girls. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards is live in Detroit. Lauren.
Ruth, just as you said, Jarvis Butts was found dead, and this happening 2 weeks after he was sentenced for killing Naziah Harris. And just the location of her body is basically, at this point, it's a bit of a mystery. Detroit police are on it, but let's get into all the details, because there is so much that you need to know. Now, this is the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center in Jackson. It's a prison intake center where the Michigan Department of Correction confirms that Jarvis Butts' body was found 2 weeks ago. 43-year-old Butts was sentenced in the murder of 13-year-old Neziah Harris, sentenced to 35 to 60 years. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and as a part of the plea deal, he was supposed to provide information as to where her body was. And Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says he did exactly that. Harris was last seen in January 2024, and prosecutors say she met up with Butts the day that she disappeared, and she was pregnant. Allegedly, Butts, the father of that child. And fast forward Thursday, MDOC says he took his own life. MDOC says the staff tried to save his life but were unsuccessful. Fox 2 spoke with Harris's cousin Roxy, who was out of town, about what happened and the concerns the family still has.
We ultimately, want to still know where she is, because we still don't have those answers. We just want to lay her to rest and things like that. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions, and him doing, decided to take his own life was unexpected. Literally 2 weeks after the sentencing. He made his bed, he got to lay in it. I think it was a bit of a cowardly way out, but he made his bed, so he has to lay in it.
So again, the prosecutor's office saying that Butts did provide information, and then she referred us over to Detroit Police Department, and we spoke with DPD, and they say that they are investigating, they are searching for her body, and that they are looking into every lead. Please stick with Fox 2 as this continues to develop. Reporting live here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Lauren, I know that obviously people who are being transported are being supervised. Any idea as to if this happened at a time that he just wasn't being watched, or any of those details?
Ruth, there's so many questions. That's exactly how this all unfolded. Those are questions that I have, that you have, that we hope to get answers about, when and how all this exactly happened. So all I can say at this time is that please continue to stick with us. As I get these updates, I will be delivering them.
And just like that, before he ever made it out to serve that time, it was no transfer, no years behind the wall for real. Just an ending that a lot of people seen coming, and a lot of people not surprised by. But at the same time, it still leaves questions, because whether people agree with how it ended or not, the reality is this: it's a child that's gone. And as much love and prayers and concerns the community had in trying to locate her, they probably had never find out where the body was located. Not to mention the other kids that was affected. And God knows we gotta send love and prayers to the families as well. Those families still gotta wake up every day and live with what was done. And that's something no outcome, no sentence, no situation can never fix. Now, as more information comes out, we'll see if it was something he did on his own, or if somebody else stepped in and made that decision for him. Either way, the story didn't end in that courtroom. It ended in that cell. And for those still wondering, based on everything that's been put out so far, I do have my thoughts on where Neziah is located. But instead of me telling you, I want a Michigan native who I know very well, who's also been following this case, to where she believes the body is at. Check it out.
I believe the Harris in the Rouge River. When she first went missing, the police went out to the Rouge River because they found her shoe and an article of clothing. When Jarvis was offered the plea deal, our prosecutor, Kim Worthy, only agreed to a plea deal if he told where she was. For him to be sentenced, that she accepted the deal. Now that she's going to bring that to the public until they possibly recover her.
Now, fam, take that information and do what you want with it. But I do want to say, as we wrap this video up, Neziah Harris, rest in peace. I love and condolences to your family, baby girl. It's an unfortunate situation, but this was the outcome. Fam, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Great video, great video, great video. Okay. All right, so that was the family. So we do know that allegedly he told the people that she was in that river. I'm pretty sure that, they're searching that river. Hopefully they will find her. Hopefully they will find her. And so her family could do the right thing and lay her to rest, because they definitely didn't do the right thing while she was living. But we'll get into that on the next live stream. So this is the plan, y'all. I may come back. I may come back on Monday, but like I stated 2 other times in this live, my goal is to at least come on this channel Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays during the week. Like I say, I could come on a Monday, I could come on a Friday, depending on what we got going on and what we're covering. But we will definitely be back on Tuesday, if not Monday, and we'll come back with that interrogation video, and I will compile a playlist, because to be honest, if I come back on Monday, I may do I have some updates. I really do need to get into these updates. So I may come back on Monday to do the updates, and then we'll continue this coverage on Tuesday. But we'll see. We'll see. But I will compile a playlist of Carlos's videos of this thing. It's probably a lot. I can only imagine because it's like I said, it's been going on for 2 years. Okay, but yeah, that's the plan. All right. Once again, I want to thank y'all so much for supporting this channel. I honestly do appreciate it. Thank you for all the support I received today. Shout out to the new members. If you want to become a member, the link is pinned at the bottom. Just click on it and become a member. I will be doing membership lives over here. It's like I say, I'll probably do a membership live over here, and I ain't did that on the T channel yet, but I do want to do membership lives over here. Absolutely. So y'all subscribe to the membership, and thank y'all so much for supporting this channel. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all in about an hour over there in Simpleville, baby. It's fucking Friday. And y'all know when it's a fucking Friday, baby, it's fucking. So yeah, I'll be over there in about an hour. I'll see y'all over there. As far as this channel, I'll see y'all next week. All right. With that being said, y'all continue to have a blessed, beautiful day. And once again, thank y'all so much for supporting the channel, okay? With that being said, truth seekers, stand up. And until next time, yeah, y'all have a blessed, beautiful Friday, okay? I'll see y'all next week. All right, y'all.